All right, hi Ridgewood High School, how you doing? This is Mr. Fabish here with another guidance update. I'm also here with Mrs. Hellman. We're going to talk a little bit about standardized testing and some of the other junior processes for the college process. So Ms. Hellman is going to start a little bit talking about some of the standardized testing and some of the changes that have been happening in the last couple of days.
Hi, everyone. So I hope everyone's safe and well. I did want to address some of the updates on the testing. I know a lot of students are feeling a little bit nervous right now about the news that they're hearing from the College Board and from ACT. And I know a lot of you have been working really hard and doing a lot of test prep at home. So we just wanted to kind of bring you up to date. Yesterday, the College Board announced that they're canceling the June 2020 SAT. So if you were registered for that exam, it will not be being held this year. However, they were very clear in offering a lot of ample opportunities for students to be able to take the exam in the fall. So we are working with our test coordinator to potentially offer the August SAT at RHS. And then we are, the College Board is going to be adding a September test date as well. So both August, we're hoping that both August and September would be offered at RHS. And then the October, November, and December test dates will be in place as they always have been. So there still will be ample opportunity to get those tests in for schools that may still be requiring it. But the good news is that what we're hearing every day more and more is that more and more schools are going test optional for the 2021 class. So you will, if you go on or navigate the college websites, you can go right to the admissions site and you'll be able to tell right from there whether or not they're going test optional for 2021. And I believe that more and more will continue to become test optional as the season moves on. We have not yet heard from ACT about what they're doing with the June 13th test date. At this point, we're running on the assumption that it will run. However, if they are soon to follow suit, as the College Board did to cancel that test, I feel pretty confident that they will also be offering some additional test dates as well. They have always offered a September test and they offer a July test. So we'll see what happens with their June test. For those of you who are registered, I would just continue to prepare for that for now. But keep in mind, again, that all of these schools, more and more schools are going test optional as well. So not to worry about that. Just a little note on AP exams. APs have been, will take place. They have been rescheduled to be taken at home. And the test schedule is posted on the College Board website and will also be communicated directly to you through your email. So make sure that you're checking your email regularly because all of the College Board and especially AP updates, which will be upcoming in the next few weeks or so, are going to be sent to you via email. RHS Guidance is also updating you every time we find out new information. We try to send an email blast and post it on the various classrooms, but make sure that you're checking your email regularly just so you can get that information and exactly when your AP exams will be taken. Also, I've been getting a lot of questions regarding whether or not the College Board will be able to accommodate students that get testing accommodations or approved for SSD accommodations. They absolutely will. You will be accommodated. You will get information, I think, sent directly to you, and it will also be posted on the College Board website. But any student who gets extended time or extended breaks will continue to get those accommodations at home. So again, not something that you need to worry about. So one of the questions that I've often been getting from my students is how will the limited testing or will the limited testing or test optional policies affect my application to college? And what I'm telling everyone is that it will not negatively impact your application to college. What has always been the case is that high school achievement is the #1 evaluative measure in college admissions, hands down. So when I say high school achievement, I also mean your transcript. So it's the courses you've taken, the rigor of your course load, whether or not you've challenged yourself in high school, and the grades that you receive on your transcript. Your high school achievement will speak for itself. The scores have always sort of just been an additive to that. And this year, probably more than ever, they will be the least probably considered component of the application is what I'm thinking. So the high school achievement, again, the transcript, that's going to be the most important thing. And I don't want you to worry about, you know, whether or not you're going to be able to get these tests in. I want to encourage those of you who have been prepping, and I want you to certainly understand that you're going to be able to there's going to be ways that you're going to be able to take these tests. But if you haven't, or you're worried about whether or not you're going to be able to, I certainly don't want you to worry about that, because again, that transcript's going to be very important. Let's see. I also have been getting the question, if a school does go test optional, how will it affect will it affect me not to send my scores or not to send scores? And this has always been the case. If a school is test optional and you don't send your scores, again, that will not negatively impact you in this process. And this year more than ever, I believe that to be true. So if you don't feel comfortable sending your scores, or if you don't have a set of scores to send and that school is test optional, that is perfectly fine. So, you know, that's pretty much the testing update, I think, for right now. Again, as we hear more information, we will update you via email and we'll post to Classroom. But if you're concerned about any of this, please don't hesitate to reach out to your counselor, have a conversation with your counselor about your particular case, your application process, and what's right for you.
That's awesome, Ms. Hellman. Thank you. And I just want to reiterate a couple of things that that Ms. Hellman was saying, especially with regards to the fact that the colleges are telling us very plain and clear that they're not going to allow this current situation to have a negative impact on any of your applications. You know, we are all in the same boat across the country. This isn't a regional thing. This is a national and an international thing. And so, you know, they completely understand why you might not have a test score, or why you might choose not to send a test score, and it won't have a negative impact on you at all. So I just want to reiterate that point. We are all in the same boat. And so if you're curious about how you want to handle that as an individual, as Mrs. Hellman said, just reach out to your counselor so that we can talk about that with you, and just make sure that we do the right thing for you. You might have taken a test already and have a score that you want to submit, and you should submit that. And you know, so everyone is going to be a little bit different in that regard. So you know, just talk with us, reach out to us, and we can help you, walk you through that. I just want to talk as well about some of the things with regards to the college process in general. This is the time typically for juniors where you're going to be doing a lot of your research into your schools and starting to figure out which schools are going to be a good fit for you. And in a lot of ways, that process isn't going to change. It's not going to be any different than it ever has been in years past. The one major thing is that you can't visit schools physically now. With regard to that, every school is ramping up their virtual process. So they're having virtual tours where you know, almost like Google Earth, where you can actually move through campus and get a sense of what the campus layout is like spatially, how it feels when you would be there. So they're putting out virtual opportunities for you to see that campus. So take full advantage of that. We've also been hearing from some kids that have taken the opportunity to actually, in this time, drive to a campus and not necessarily get out and walk, but actually still go there and just get a sense of physically, what is this space like? Is it a place where I think I would feel comfortable? What's the surrounding area like? Which you might not always get in a virtual tour. So take advantage of those opportunities when you can, if you can. You know, obviously you may not be able to get out to California or some of the schools in the Midwest, but if you can get to some of the New Jersey schools or some of the Connecticut schools, or even, you know, the Boston or DC area, you know, it's a long drive, but it's theoretically possible to be able to just physically see what the space might feel like. One other aspect of the college process are letters of recommendation. We've been getting a lot of questions about how should we handle letters of recommendation from our teachers. And that process changed slightly. We always often recommend in the past that you see your teacher either period 9 or after class to have a discussion with them face to face, but obviously we can't do that now. And so everything's going to be done through email or connecting virtually like this through Google Meet or through Zoom. And you know, if you can connect through Zoom or Google Meet, that's great to connect face to face. But if you're doing it through email, we just want to encourage you to have proper etiquette. You're probably going to be doing a lot of your communication through email with college reps as well. And you want to make sure that it doesn't have to be a formal letter, but that there is a little bit of formality to it. If you, you know, normally call your teacher by a nickname or something along those lines, you should address them as Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, just to make sure that there's proper etiquette there. And again, I think it's good practice for communicating with college representatives too, that when the time comes to reach out to them and ask legitimate questions when you have them, that you're asking in a proper way that'll reflect you in a positive light. You know, that's always something that they're going to be thinking about when your application comes across their desk. So just want to make sure that we handle these things the right way. It's very easy to be informal in emails, so there should be some level of formality to it. So just encourage you guys to do that. And you know, the last thing that we'll leave you with, we just got some communication from a group called Verto that sent us an email, and we sent something out to the junior class of 2021 classroom. And that's tomorrow from 3 to 7. They're doing a virtual college fair. And we sent the link through Classroom, and just want to encourage you to take an opportunity to kind of, you know, our own college fair was canceled because of this. And so this could be a good first opportunity for juniors to make some contact with college representatives. You know, reading through their information, they're going to have virtual booths where you're going to be able to actually connect with college representatives, possibly ask some questions, and get some specific information about individual schools. So it should be an interesting opportunity and a great chance for you guys to make some of that first contact and just learn a little bit more about some of the schools that you might be interested in. So, you know, so ultimately, you know, where we'd love to leave you is, you know, is just be open with your communication with us. We're going to try and do everything we can to get information out to you, whether that's in this video format or whether we're doing it through emails. We're trying to use Classroom as much as we can to get information to you guys. So just make sure that you're paying attention to that. Anytime you have questions or concerns, please reach out to us. We're always here. You know, we've got your backs and want to make sure that that this whole process goes smoothly for you. So so thank you very much for taking the time. And we wish you all, you know, an amazing day. We hope that you're all safe and well. And again, if you need us, we're just an email or a quick Zoom or Google Meet call away. All right. Thanks very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.